Welcome back to the Hood Needs Fantasy Football Podcast. This is episode 118. I got my dogs with me here, MFB
Yes, sir.
and BBTB.
In the chip, gonna win it for the Hoodnies. Type shit. Last Hoodney remaining in a championship.
This has been an interesting year, man. It's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of players that just didn't perform when you thought they would. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into, well, first off, this is the week 16 studs and duds. If you're listening to this, hopefully you're in the chip or you just like to hear us talk, in which case, thanks. We appreciate you. But let's go ahead and jump into the QB studs. At the top 2 weeks in a row, Trevor Lawrence, 31.16 fantasy points against MFB's Denver Broncos. Probably the best QB performance against the Broncos this season.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Dude,
it probably is.
He might be a league winner. Like, if you have him and you're going into the finals, you might have secured the chip. Like, he's been on a tear. Last week, he had like 40 fantasy points. This week, 31 against Denver. Like, he's doing good work, man.
It's very interesting, and I don't know why or how it's happening, really. I know, bro, like preseason, I was high on two very late quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence was one of them. So, and then the first half of the season, I'm like, oh man, this is turning out to be very bad, right?
Yeah.
And then we see this, and also last week, right, the little 44 bomb, and this 31 bomb against the Broncos, right? And I remember last week on our episode, I was saying, damn, I don't know if he does well again against the Broncos. And next week they get what?
They're a decent matchup next week, I think.
Is it the Jets, bro? No shot.
No, I don't think it's the Jets.
No, sorry, it's the Colts.
Patriots
division.
Patriots play Jets.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
I'm in a little dilemma real quick. I have Drake May. I've been playing Drake May all season. Drafted him. You know, I'm the go for drafting him. I have T-Law on my bench. That was my backup quarterback that I drafted. I don't know if I play T-Law or Drake May next week. Crazy statement.
yeah. You should just go to Discord and reach out. We have a channel. We'll just start. We'll get you for sure.
Appreciate it.
That's a tough situation. It's like, do you trust the player that's been doing it throughout the season? Do you trust the one that's hot, the hot hand? That's a tough one, man.
No, I'm gonna go Drake May. I'm not risking it. Sorry.
Could risk the chip, man. Hey, scared money to make money. Anyways.
True.
Brock Purdy next on the list, 30.9 fantasy points, getting it down on Monday night against the or why am I blanking? Colts, that's right. Against Philly.
Colts.
Yeah. He threw 5 touchdowns, but he threw for less than 300 yards. Crazy.
Niners are in full form. They look scary. Like the defense,
a little bit
popping. Offense, popping.
Best division in football.
100%.
Yeah, that division's nuts. Brock Purdy putting up crazy numbers, man. Like we've seen him do this a little bit, but he was very quiet this year. I mean, he was hurt also a lot of the year, right?
Yeah.
So, but we've seen games like this before. Next week they get the Bears, Sunday Night Football.
Interesting.
Important game for both teams, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, big implications. I mean, they paid Purdy in the offseason, right? So like he's showing that he's worth the money that they paid him. So
yeah.
I had one guy, a Niners fan, talk about why would we pay Purdy when we can just go get Justin Fields? I swear he said that. I'm not kidding. I had a guy saying that, like, bro, Justin Fields is dual threat, and I was like, all right, bro. That's why he's not a GM for any football teams. But yeah, Purdy's been killing it, or at least this week. Even last week, he did pretty solid too. But we'll see if he can do it again for the championship. Matt Stafford, 30.88 fantasy points. He's been having an MVP type season.
He's MVP.
No Devontae Adams.
He's MVP. I believe it. I don't think there's a better player in the NFL than the way he played this year.
I'd have to actually think about that.
Man, I mean MVP. Yeah, he's definitely in the race.
Like number 2 is Drake May. Like I can't think of it.
Drake May. Yeah. Josh Allen was there, but like he's had so many dud games. It's kind of not looking great. So
yeah.
Like maybe
Matt Stafford, bro. Like you just gotta trust it, bro. It don't matter about the matchup. Like just start him. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say third place, maybe Myles Garrett, but that's a kind of a reach.
He didn't hit the record, did he?
No, officially one sack to beat the record.
He's like half a sack away or something like that.
He's half a sack to tie.
Yeah, and then one to beat.
He almost had it. Josh Allen fell in the end zone. The other
guy touched him.
Yeah, he touched him first.
Pause.
Pause.
Joe Burrow next on the list, 28.96 fantasy points. You probably didn't trust him after his dud week the week before. It looks like T. Higgins is the difference. Jared Goff, 26.46 fantasy points. Did his thing. Drake May, 23.7 fantasy points. Lions lost that game. They're at risk to not make playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, right? Losing to the Steelers.
Lions have a shot, technically.
Yeah,
it's very low.
No,
it's very low. They're below the Packers one game.
Yeah.
Some stuff has to happen, bro.
No. So pretty much they're out if the Packers win because the Packers are up a game and a half because of the tie.
Yes, yeah. Yeah,
so
that is true.
They're pretty much
shot, though.
Yeah, I guess.
But there's a shot, though.
I guess.
That team is pretty banged up. Amon-Ra's banged up. The Laporta's banged up. Brock Wright, the backup tight end's gone. Aiden Hutchinson, is he okay? There's some other player that's not. That's also
no. Hutchinson's out for the season.
Laporta's still out.
Laporta's out for the season. Amon-Ra got hurt this game.
Yeah, he got knee irritation or something like that.
Yeah, something. They had some defensive pieces missing. Anyways, Lions may not make playoffs, so that'll be interesting to see. But that division's also a tough one. Besides, the Vikings. Drake May doing his thing week in, week out for 23.7. We talked about him, or we brought him up.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll do it for the QBs. Any of these other guys you want to talk about? You want to talk about Justin Herbert against Dallas? I mean, that one was kind of...
No, but all I'm going to say, as I say every video, the list, majority of these QBs were not top 5 or top 7 QBs. You fade the quarterback. So the people that are out of the championship, because I'm in it, so I can speak, don't draft a top 5 or top 7 quarterback. Wait to the late rounds. All right.
At least don't take them at their ADP. Let them fall. It all depends on value for what you're getting. But anyways, let's move on to the wide receiver.
The only name here was Joe Burrow. That was, and Jay Irby kind of drafted with in the top 8-ish. So
yeah. But even Herbert, I would say, was a faded. Like you could have faded the quarterback. Joe Burrow's the only one that wasn't really. Like people were taking him pretty high.
Exactly
after what he did last year. But yeah. Anyways, wide receiver studs at the very top. Thursday Night Football. Puka with no Devontae Adams. 40.5 half PPR fantasy points. Nuts.
I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. But I'm also surprised. This guy literally single-handedly ended my shot at the finals on Thursday night. I had to play against him.
That had to be the worst opponent to come up against in the fantasy semifinals, man. That had to be like a Thursday night.
1,000,000%, yes.
Bomb.
And more than likely, somebody who was in semifinals had Puka. Naturally.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
The worst part is that the secondary for the Seattle Seahawks, they're top 5, the secondary. You're not expecting Puka to play like that. So
there's a lot of people that are just matchup proof, bro. Like you're gonna run the good talent on a great offense against any matchup. And that's how it's gonna go. I feel like I don't know. I feel like if your team got to the semis and you had Puka, there's no way you lost this week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
Keep rolling him out. They might be without Devontae again because there's no real reason to start Devontae next week for the Rams.
Yeah.
No, yeah, true. I mean, they won't need him.
Right, yeah. Chris Olave, 31.8 fantasy points. Man, if you had him like as a flex or something, probably also got you into the finals with that performance.
This was such a quiet, like a sneakily quiet producing receiver through the season.
Yes, I was gonna say that. Like
I forgot the exact number, but he was like a steady, like I think points per game, like top 12, like mid-season, and nobody like cared or talked about him or whatever.
Flew under the radar.
I liked him a lot. Been trying to trade for him too mid-season, and this game he just straight popped off. Tyler Shuck also not looking terrible, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's the solution next year, but Tyler Shuck not looking terrible. And for fantasy purposes, I love how the offense is running.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, though, like for the Saints, just a side note, like he isn't looking too bad, Tyler Shuck, and the Saints aren't even fully healthy, like in terms of the team. So, like, why don't they? In my opinion, they build around him, get him better weapons, get him some better protection, so he has more time in the pocket and stuff like that, and then let him go out there and do his thing next year. Like he may end up being like Brock Purdy type, where he just playing as a backup. He's a rookie too, so still young.
Possibly, we'll see what the Saints do. To me, it's like, and I'm sure the Saints will agree. Like Tyler Shuck's not winning you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, correct.
And at the end of the day, you got to think like, what QB will win me a Super Bowl? You know what I'm saying?
This is true, yeah. But he's still young. It's first year in the NFL, so he could develop. I mean, we saw Drake May last year do his thing, and then this year popped off, and now they're going towards top of the AFC, right?
I suppose. Yeah.
So I'm saying like Saints have some real decisions to make in the offseason, but let's continue. Don't want to harp too long on, the Saints. Parker Washington, 23.5 fantasy points. Didn't see that one coming. Alec Pierce, 22.6 fantasy points. Didn't see that one coming. George Pickens, 22.5 fantasy points. Yeah, could have seen that one. JSN, 19.6. He had 0 points at the half. That was, I guess, didn't really see that one coming after that. In that Thursday night game. DJ Moore with no Luther Burden, no Romo Dunze, got the game-winning touchdown, 19.4 fantasy points. Good for him, doing what I thought he would do all season, but, now finally doing it. Quentin Johnston, 18.4 fantasy points against Dallas, easy peasy. Stephon Diggs, being the number one that he was supposed to be, 18.3 fantasy points. And that's it for the wide receiver. Studs, who do we want to highlight?
Hey, I'm highlighting DJ Moore. I know I was talking smack on the Bears last week. Had an edit made of me, you know what I mean? But listen, DJ Moore, called him out. I'm like, look, boomer bust. He's either getting 0 or 20. Pretty much got 20. Shouts out DJ Moore. All right.
Yeah, he might be a decent play next week. They get the Niners. If there's still no Rome and no Luther, it's like automatic plug and play.
Mm-hmm.
I would say for sure. And I feel like I'm not sure what Luther's injury is. I feel like Rome will not play with that heel injury.
Yeah, because he re-aggravated it in warm-ups last week, not this week that just passed, the previous week, and didn't play. It was a late addition to the injury report, like right before the game started last week. So it seems like whatever it is, it flared up, and so I don't know. They should probably just rest him if they can, but I don't know about Luther. I don't know if you mentioned anything about his injury, Luther Burden. But yeah, Alec Pierce, I was going to talk about, I mean, do you guys see something with him? And
very surprising to me with Phillip Rivers, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I didn't see that one coming at all. That's a crazy one. But he's been doing pretty solid through the season. Like also a sneakily decent play throughout the season.
Yeah. But kind of like we said last week, Josh Downs was like the most targeted receiver, I believe.
Right.
So I still would be okay maybe with like Josh Downs as a flex.
Chris Boomer
Colts are
bust.
kind of in a similar situation as the Lions. Like they're like on a very weird bubble where they need a lot of things to happen.
It's good for fantasy. They need to win, so
for sure
they're going to be towing. That's it for this wide receiver studs. Let's move on to the running back studs at the very top. Did not see this one coming. Ashton Genty against Houston, 31.3 fantasy points, showing what he can do.
Look, fantasy football.
You're not in the semifinals if you have Genty.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You're probably not in the semifinals with Ashton Genty. And if you somehow were, you probably didn't want to start him against the Texans.
Exactly.
Hey, great performance for the dog. But
100%.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody in semis had Genty or even started him. So
yeah, he like I said, showing what he can do. Chase Brown in a game that doesn't matter, right? Bengals are out. 30.9 fantasy points.
Does not
3
matter.
touchdowns. Yeah, 30.9, 3 touchdowns. Good game. Christian McCaffrey, one of the top running backs this year, 29.6 fantasy points, getting it done. Jaylen Warren also getting it done, 28.1 fantasy points against the Lions, who are one of the top run defenses. We'll get back to that in a few minutes. Bijan, 26.3. James Cook, 25.9. Ken Walker, 23.9 against the Rams.
Finally, Derrick a Ken Walker game, baby.
Every time he plays the Rams, apparently.
Exactly. I did drop him, though, but I picked up DJ Moore. But keep going.
That's a crazy
no, keep going.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back to that, but Derrick Henry, 22.8 fantasy points. Another crazy one. Kenneth Gainwell, who had the play of the day on Sunday, caught that pass and then ran into the end zone after. I guess he wasn't touched after he caught the pass.
That was a nutty play, man.
21.3 fantasy points. If you missed it, go back and watch it. Ken Gainwell, bro. I mean, he's been also sneakily pretty decent, like fantasy wise.
So it was this week was surprising me because he's been very good when Jaylen Warren was out and hurt. Right?
Yeah.
But they were both active this game. I mean, that one play, like, I don't know.
They were both active last week too, and he's had good numbers. Go look at his recent games. Like he hasn't been in the stud list, like not like crazy, but like he's been flex worthy. Like week in, week out. If you flex him this week, he's like that sleeper flex play that, bro, I would be shocked to have started Gainwell, or I would not have thought of to start him, but especially against Detroit. But wow,
I mean, I realistically would not. He as a pure running back, he's only getting 9 carries last game. It's not too enticing.
It'd be interesting,
but
it'd be interesting to see with no DK next week because he's suspended for 2 games.
But 2 games is low-key whack. It should only be 1 game.
He hit a fan, no?
Yeah, but that fan bugging.
It doesn't matter, bro. Hitting a player is one thing, but when you hit a fan, bro, it gets messy.
I will say it is very critical because the Steelers, they'll probably make the playoffs, but they're not locked by any means. They're not locked.
He's suspended 2 games, so the last 2 games of the season, no DK. Saquon Barkley, 21.2. A lot of RB studs. 21.2 points for Saquon Barkley. He's got the best matchups, I think, for an RB in the fantasy playoffs. So if you have him, good for you. RJ Harvey, 20.1. And surprisingly, Tajay Spears, 19 fantasy points. I threw him in there because I drafted him and thought he would do good this season. He never did. So here he is. I just wanted to sneak him in there.
Well, no Titan really did. Usually.
Yeah. Any of these guys that you want to highlight? Any surprise?
Not really. I was just going to say, if you do look at all these RBs, though, majority of these RBs drafted round 1, 2, 3, 4. So what does that mean, ladies and gents that are not in the chip? Draft your RBs early. BBTB 101. Come on now.
Bro, if you lose next week, you better make some prayers, man. Anyways,
the guy that I'm playing this week dropped 185. So he has everywhere.
For a bad week.
I'm praying
for a bad week. Yeah,
I'm praying.
I like that. Let's move on to the tight end studs. At the very top, Kittle, who unfortunately suffered an ankle injury in that game, 21 fantasy points.
Tough.
Yeah, I didn't see the injury, but people are saying it doesn't look good. It's not looking good for him, which is a big blow to the Niners, who have been dealing with injuries all year. Harold Fannin Jr., who is Shadur's new bestie, 17.5 fantasy points for Harold Fannin. Kyle Pitts, breakout season, year 5, 15.2 fantasy points. Chig Okonkwo from the Titans. I don't think we ever called his name all season. 13.4 fantasy points. Did something. Taysom Hill, 13.32 fantasy points. Saints. AJ Barner from Seattle, 13. Jawan Johnson, 12.9. 2 Saints on here. Very surprising.
Yes, sir.
Any of these guys you want to highlight?
A very random list.
Very
random. Man, I'm surprised. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really watch that Atlanta game, but you know, not much Drake London action. So Kyle Pitts was still seeing the ball plenty.
I literally called that.
So maybe he'll still do okay even next week.
If you listen to us,
Niners. Or no, sorry. They play the. Why am I not seeing it? Sorry. Oh, they play the Rams Monday night. Oof.
Okay. Yeah, if you listen to last week, BBTB goes to the same gym as Drake London's dad, apparently. And so he likes to get a lot of nonsense information that has no relevance.
Yeah, but didn't he say he's not playing or something?
He wasn't supposed to play, but I mean, I don't know. I said don't even play him because the injury's pretty bad.
Yeah, BBTB talks about a whole lot of noise about, Drake London.
I literally said don't play Drake London.
A lot of hoopla.
Last week I said don't play him. Look what he did.
We'll go back to the tape and check that out. But
Fannin Jr., bro, great tight end waiver pickup, honestly, if you got him. I know this guy, he was like a pickup of like week 1. People picked him up, right? If you remember that week. He like showed out and people were like,
Jawan Johnson. Both those guys.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then like, very like the Browns went through that whole QB trash phase before starting Shador. Yeah. And now, they've been picking it up and Fannin's kind of really back on the board. So, great pickup. If you have him, I'd be feeling pretty good, honestly.
Yeah.
Going into finals, even with him.
Yeah. They got that rookie kind of connection going on, him and Shador. So it's good. It looks good. The team, I mean, Shador's doing his thing, like MFB said previously in another episode. They should have been started Shador, the Browns, but we'll see how that plays out. They still have Deshaun Watson on the roster over there, so that's interesting. Anyways, enough about the Browns. Let's move into the duds. Starting at QB, at the very top, Jackson Dart, who typically through the year has been pretty good, dual threat. I guess playing for nothing, ended up with 0.02 fantasy points. So if you were hoping that you could, you had Patrick Mahomes out for the year last week, and so you're like, oh, good thing I have Jackson Dart on my bench. That'll be a good play. Yeah, you probably lost if you tried to run him. For sure you lost.
He definitely probably lost everybody that matchup if they played him.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, it's just Minnesota's they could show out a lot their defense for sure.
Yeah.
They have games where they look very elite as a defense.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened. The Giants offense had no answer to do anything.
Real quick, random. What did Justin Jefferson do?
He had 11 and a half.
He did okay, double digits, I believe, but just okay.
Yeah, I said to bench him. I'm just saying, and play DJ Moore.
We know.
Oh my god!
I think you should just start Jalen Coker over him. But yeah, anyways.
Something like I said DJ Moore and Coker, I think.
Yeah, that was not the move. Okay, anyways,
Lamar Jackson
Dart. Would you trust him next week against the Raiders?
Yeah, for third place matchup, sure. Go for it, buddy.
That game, I don't know.
I trust it.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, look, the value is going to go down because he was so good with his rushing, and they literally told him, hey, bro, calm down. you got concussed like twice in 1 week. So you need to stop doing that shit.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens next year if maybe they give him more design run plays and stuff like that, and then try to protect him, whatever.
Well, they've been giving him less design run plays.
No, I'm saying like next year, like into the new year. What? Because
Maybe, yeah.
let's be real. This year they weren't playing for anything for the longest time. So Jackson Dart was just out there running like for nothing and like running into players getting injured, getting concussed. It's like, dude, if it's different if you're making a run for the Super Bowl. We get it. You're trying to get wins. You're trying to get whatever. You're trying to finish the division, win the division, get to the playoffs, whatnot. Sure, play hard and all that. But when you're playing for nothing, it's like, dude, stop. Just don't do that. Just go out there and sling it. Like, stop running. We don't need that. You have next year to do that. Neighbors will be back. It's a whole nother ball game. Scatter will be back. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, what? Stop. You're going to hurt yourself, and we need you next year. So, but that's Jackson Dart, Lamar Jackson, who has been on this list probably like 3 weeks in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He was on it this week. He was not on it last week. He had a decent week last week.
Last week he did good.
Yeah, he was.
But the weeks before that were all abysmal.
Pretty bad, man. Lamar, he's been, there's a couple names in here that, BBTV is going to have to say, this is why he faded the quarterback. So yeah, you guys are going to hear it from him in a minute. But 4.74 fantasy points from Lamar Jackson in a pretty important must-win kind of game. Just got shut down by the Pats.
So they're still in a very also weird situation where they could try to make it. They play against the Packers next week. Would you start Lamar Jackson in your fantasy football finals?
Wait, I thought you said
over him.
No, I thought you said the Ravens play the Raiders.
No, the Giants play the Raiders.
Oh, no. Yeah. I'm not playing Lamar Jackson in my finals.
I would like Trevor Lawrence over him.
You'd play Trevor Lawrence over Lamar Jackson.
100%. But saying that,
Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett.
Who does he play? Who do the Cardinals play? They play against. It's a divisional game, no? Or
Bengals.
Nope. No, it's Bengals.
Yes.
Bengals.
I'm playing Jacoby Brissett over Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
I'm a Cardinals hater, and I would actually
Caleb Williams versus the Niners.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm taking Caleb Williams.
So this homie's just not starting Lamar Jackson ever.
That one I go with Lamar. I'll take Lamar over Caleb Williams.
Tripping.
That's where I draw the line.
That's going to be a crazy game.
That's what we think of Lamar so far. Probably biggest second half bust of history that I can think of.
Dude, yeah, for how highly he was drafted, anyone with Lamar, let's be honest, anyone with Lamar Jackson, if you didn't have a good backup quarterback, you're not in the playoffs. Or even if you were in the playoffs, you didn't make it to the finals. For sure, you did not. Josh Allen, another big, highly drafted or early draft quarterback, 6.9 fantasy points. This is the reason why I just can't take Josh Allen. He's too boomer bust. Like, I'm not taking a boomer bust quarterback in the first couple rounds, man. Like, I'm not taking a quarterback that I'd much rather have a quarterback that gets me like less points but more consistent, like 20 to 25, like Drake May.
Like a Drizzy May.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'd much rather have that on my team because he's not gonna lose me weeks that matter. He may not necessarily get me the 40-point weeks where he wins me weeks that matter or not, but like, dude,
I will say, because I do have him in our league that we're in, and I got knocked out early first round, but Josh Allen, like, it's fun because there's some weeks where it's like, he will straight demolish and carry you through the season.
Yeah.
But obviously when it comes to like playoffs and you're about to get knocked out, then it's like, shit, it's not so much fun anymore.
But this is the thing is like, for me, like drafting a quarterback early on that high, and to be honest, quarterbacks are hard to trade. Like, especially when there are a lot of decent quarterbacks as well. Like, let's say The only situation I could think of if you draft Josh Allen early is if he pops off for multiple weeks in a row, like 2 weeks in a row, 30-plus point games. You can try and trade him, but most people are probably not going to want what you have to offer.
So I think this might be a little hot take, but I think the quarterback position is the most useless position in fantasy. Hear me out. I'm talking about, like, let's just say, like, the point difference between all these quarterbacks, bro, are not that big of a difference between a receiver. You get what I'm trying to say? Like Puka Nakua and, like, I don't know, like Jawan Jennings or something. That's a big difference. But when you wait,
revisit this in another episode.
Oh, sorry.
We'll
But
like go
long
over,
story
like,
short,
the top,
BBTB's just telling you, fade the quarterback. All right, keep going.
Yeah, like I said, guys, you're going to hear from him because we got two top 3 quarterbacks in the studs list. Jacoby Brissett, 10.62. I threw him in here because he's been Mr. Consistent. He couldn't consistently do it against the Falcons this week. Hopefully, if you trusted him in your semifinals, you're not out. CJ Stroud, he's in this list because people thought they could start him. I was like, no. 11.48 fantasy points. Couldn't get it done against the Raiders. CJ Stroud is just buns. Baker Mayfield, 12.7 fantasy points. He may have the second biggest fall off after Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Second half of the season.
He's not playing like him.
Yeah.
He's not playing.
Regression hit him heavy, bro.
Yeah.
Regression hit him heavily right now.
Dude, he started hot and then he started to talk in all these press conferences and saying, like, oh, this game is very personal to me because I was cut by this coach when I was in Carolina or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Like, all right, bro, calm it down now. And then he got too hot too quick. And then people, I don't know, he just crumbled. Couldn't take the pressure. But yeah, Baker Mayfield, not getting it done. You're probably not in the playoffs if you have most of these quarterbacks. Besides Josh Allen, Lamar, you're probably not in the playoffs. But yeah, Josh Allen's probably the biggest bust here in the studs list this week. Let's move on to the wide receiver duds. I'm going to highlight the ones that you, to be honest, there's very few of these guys that you
just fly through it, bro.
Semifinals. At the very top, a Cardinal, you know what I'm saying? Marvin Harrison Jr., 1.9 fantasy points. That team belongs to Michael Wilson now. Christian Watson, 2.7 fantasy points. He's still injured. BTJ, 2.8 fantasy points. Biggest bust of the draft. Drake London, 4.2 fantasy points. He's not healthy. I don't know why he's playing. Emeka Egbuka, the second or third biggest fall off second half of the season, 4.5 fantasy points. Debo, 5 fantasy points. Why is he still playing? Xavier Worthy, 5.1 fantasy points. He's not good. Michael Pittman, 5.2 fantasy points.
Grandpa Rivers.
Yeah, Rivers does not like Michael.
Man, very, very sad for Egbuka because I feel like a lot of people probably made it with such a heavy start, you know?
Yeah.
Even into getting to semifinals, and like you're gonna start Egbuka and like he's just not producing. I thought he would since Mike Evans was back. Mike Evans is doing steady though. He's doing his thing. Egbuka's just not producing like how he was. And it's so strange to see. Usually rookies will get better later on in the season. But it could be more of a Baker thing. BTJ, there was no realm I'm going to start him versus the Broncos. But then again, you know, Parker Washington went dumb.
I was not starting Parker Washington either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Parker runs a lot from the slot, right? BTJ is going to be out wide against PS2. Like, it's just lock. You know?
Yeah, I just feel like I would not have wanted to start a wide receiver against the Broncos. But yeah.
I mean, let's ask the hard-hitting questions. We're like, are you going to run Egbuka next week if you're in the finals?
Worse?
Let me check for you, brother. The Dolphins.
No.
Man. They're in a
Buccaneers have like a decent shot at playoffs, but also kind of a far shot.
They're in a must-win situation.
The Bucs and Panthers are like in a very rich.
So it's hard to answer. It's hard to answer that question in a vacuum. If you have this guy on your team, you have to look at what other options you have. You know what I mean, and then make the
Egbuka or Parker Washington.
Egbuka.
Puka or
starting
Michael Wilson?
Michael Wilson against. Wait, who do we say the Cardinals are playing next week?
Bengals.
Oh yeah, I'll take Michael Wilson all day.
Puka or is Jalen Waddle healthy? Say Jalen Waddle.
Puka.
With Ewers, bro. I'd have to go look at his numbers. I actually didn't see Waddle's numbers. Wait, and I have to see who they play, but
I'm going to Puka.
That's a tough one. I'd rather Puka,
fair
but
enough.
I might take Waddle.
What about Drake London? They play against the Rams. Are you still not trusting Drake London in the fantasy football finals?
Correct.
I would take London over Puka. I'll be honest.
I'll take him on.
Wow.
I would take London. He probably shouldn't be playing, but I think he's just gonna go out there and just he could catch touchdown. I like his odds a lot more than I like Puka. But yeah. Okay, if you got to the playoffs with Puka, tough. But like we said, guys, join the Discord. Ask us if you think you should start one player over another, and we'll give you our best take. That's it for the wide receiver duds. Moving on to running backs, I threw Kareem Hunt in there because he's been kind of doing his thing, getting a lot of goal line work. If you trusted him as a flex this week, 0.2 fantasy points against a decent matchup, Tennessee. So you might have considered flexing him, but
I mean, no QB, no offense.
Well, Gardner
no
Minshew,
rushy. Dude, there's gonna be no momentum for any running game.
Someone put a hex on the freaking Chiefs. Bro.
What's a hex?
A spell, like a curse, something, bro. Dude, Mahomes tears his ACL. The next week, the starting quarterback, Gardner Minshew, tears his ACL. Bro, if I'm the third string quarterback, I'd be so worried that my ACL is going to get torn out there on Sunday, bro.
Damn, Minshew's ACL got torn?
Yes, bro. Like early in the game,
sad.
It was like off the rip.
I mean, at this level, right? Besides, I don't know, like there's no Chiefs you're starting in fantasy period right now, unless it's Rashid next week, who might pass concussion protocol.
I'm not starting Rashid.
I don't know.
Would you even start Kelsey?
They play against the Broncos, by the way, next week.
Oh hell no!
I'm not playing Rashid against PS2 with no quarterback.
That's such a tough.
Maybe you start the kicker.
One.
Maybe
against the Broncos.
Yeah, the kicker maybe.
I don't know. Christmas game.
Grim.
We'll see. But yeah, Chiefs are in the dumps right now.
Yeah. Once Mahomes went down, it was kind of over. David Montgomery, 1.4 fantasy points. It's the Gibbs show. Travion Henderson got injured. Very unfortunate. 1.7 fantasy points. Josh Jacobs, 3.8 fantasy points. He's clearly still injured. Javonte, 5.3. Also dealing with an injury, I believe. Some neck issue. Travion Henderson, people were saying that they didn't disclose what the injury was that he was dealing with. Do you guys know what the injury is?
I do not.
People were saying that it was the number one most bet. The most bet option this weekend was Travion Henderson scoring a touchdown, anytime touchdown, and then he just leaves the game with an undisclosed injury. Like Vegas was just trying to cash out or something like that. Apparently,
oh wow,
allegedly, but I don't even know how you would get the information. Like how many people placed a bet for Travion Henderson to get a touchdown, to score an anytime touchdown. But yeah, he left the game and apparently there's some undisclosed injury that they have not explained or said yet. So do you have any information about his injury? No. WTB, MFB, doing some research.
It's like some head, maybe concussion, possibly.
Yeah,
I'm really not sure.
That's why people are really sketched out about the injury. They're saying that it was a Vegas call.
As far as the Vegas call, it depends. Do you know the specific bet it was?
Just anytime touchdown, I think.
Okay.
Anyways, honestly, Travion Henderson, if you held him and he took you into the playoffs, he got you to the semifinals, and he got you 1.7 fantasy points, That's tough, man. That's a tough break. You for sure, you definitely lost this week if you started him. If you didn't,
heartbreaker, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of heartbreakers this week. But that's it for the running back duds. Do you guys want to highlight any of these other guys?
No, sir.
Cool. Tight ends at the top. Don Kincaid with a straight donut this week. Man, every time I look at any pass catcher on the Bills, they all feel like ticking time bombs. Where like one week they can have a great week, and the next week they can just have a straight donut. Also, very interestingly, side note, Keon Coleman, another healthy scratch. I don't know what's going on with that guy. As far as for the Bills, I don't even know what happens to him after this year. But let's move on to the tight ends. TJ Hawkinson, who I believe got injured in that game. I don't know. He only had 0.7 fantasy points, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got injured. Travis Kelce, 1.1 fantasy points. We talked about don't start anymore. Chiefs players. Gadsden, who started off, had some decent games in the middle of the season, 1.2 fantasy points. Terrible. I'm highlighting this player, Colby Parkinson, for the Rams because he was kind of getting hot, and then there was no Devontae Adams this week. So people were really depending on him Thursday night, and then they trusted the other guy like Terrence Ferguson or something. So yeah, that if you started him in your fantasy semifinals, sorry. Jake Ferguson, 3.4 fantasy points. The Dallas Cowboys are out of playoffs, so they're not playing for anything.
Correct.
Mark Andrews, 3.4 fantasy points. I'll come back to him. Tyler Warren,
Chemo's favorite player.
Points.
Favorite player.
You know, my boy.
Chemo loves a Ravens player every year, bro. Deontay Johnson.
He was traded. That's my dog. Let me tell you the lore behind Deontay Johnson. It was like 3 years ago. I had him real quick, and it was when Ben Johnson was the QB for the Steelers. He was there, and I played against Jonathan Taylor's, like it was his rookie season. It was a Thursday night game, and he had like 3 touchdowns. And I was playing against him Thursday night with like 30 plus fantasy points. I was cooked, right? Bro, Monday night I had Deontay Johnson. He caught the last pass for the Steelers.
Where's the Chargers, right?
I don't remember if it was the Chargers. I can't remember who they played, but I just remember him getting it. It might have been the Vikings. I can't remember, bro. I just remember them getting that. He got that last catch that he caught was worth like 7-yard catch for 1.2 fantasy points, and it put me over my opponent for like 0.3 fantasy points. I was like, bro,
Fire.
Shut the game down, end the game. Like, don't let him fumble nothing. But yeah, that's why I have a thing for Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, that's cute. That guy's a certified bum, bro. The Jets literally have like Randy McScrandy, and they still won't sign Deontay Johnson. That's how much of a bum Deontay Johnson is.
All right, bro, we get it. Damn, relax. Right. Anyway. What did he do to you? Was I paying you that week? No, Tyler Warren, 4.5 fantasy. Tyler, it wasn't you. I remember who it was. Tyler Warren, 4.5 fantasy points. Has not been doing it with Phillip Rivers. Colston 11, 4.5 fantasy points. Even with no Luther Burden, no Romo Dunze, he's not doing much. Trey McBride, this is probably the first week we've seen him on the duds list all year. 4.7 fantasy points. Shocking, honestly. Atlanta
plays against the Bengals next week. Fire his ass up.
Bro, if you made it to the finals with Trey McBride, he's going to go crazy next week.
You low-key could have made it to the finals because Trey McBride carried you into the semis.
100%.
From last week.
Yeah, 31 point performance. Back to Mark Andrews. He did some weird, tried to lateral the ball move.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so crazy.
What?
Dude, I can't believe that's your favorite player.
So I looked. So let me explain Mark Andrews as well, because last year he started off really slow, terrible. I was like, bro, drop him. And then he ended the season really well. He was getting a touchdown every week, the last 6 weeks of the season. He did great. So I was like, bro, maybe he's doing the same thing this year. Then they went out and paid him. I'm like, come on, you paid him $30 million for a 3-year contract. You're obviously going to use him. I'm just gonna go ahead and say Lamar Jackson's the problem. That's me coping.
No.
That's me coping with my. Bro,
Sorry.
Can you let me finish?
You could use that as cope. My thing is, and I will always stand on this, right? It's like
targets, blah, blah.
He gave you like some weeks where like he popped off, but
yeah,
it's so rare. He's had 3 double-digit weeks, Kimo, out of 16.
He's a left tackle.
That's all I needed.
What do you love about that?
Bro, I'm like I said, if you were listening to me 30 seconds ago when I said
you're blaming it on
last
Lamar.
year, bro, okay, a minute and 30 seconds ago when I said that he started off really slow last year and then he popped off end of the year. He had like 6 weeks in a row with touchdowns. He had very good matchups end of the year. And I was like, okay, he had the Bengals twice in 3 weeks. I was like, bro, the number one best
this year you're
talking about. This year, yes. I'm talking about weeks, was it 13 and 15 or something? He had literally the Bengals, and I'm like, bro, the number one matchup for tight ends, like he's got really good matchups. It's looking like another year where he pops off towards the end, and then they paid him, and I'm like, bro, come on. Like all the signs are pointing to they're gonna get him the ball, and then nothing. So I'm like, bro, this is one of those situations where like it just wasn't meant to be for him to do well enough for me, because if he had done decent those last few weeks, I might have been in the playoffs right now and still in the playoffs, because I had an easy matchup week 1 in the quarterfinals and I got nothing. Anyways, that'll do it for the tight end duds. Nothing really go over for the rest of these guys. And that's it for this episode. Tune in to the week 17 waivers episode next, where I go over barely any players that are worth picking up. If you're in the finals, probably none of these guys. But anyways, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.